Iran, and it should be an absolute belter because Iran currently top.
現在2連勝中、首位です。ティーリーダー、アジア大陸代表。このところでは両国の選手が試合の伝統を違い合う握手を交わしています。これより公式ウォームアップを開始します。
And now the official warm-up, then the net.
コイントスの結果、イランがサーブ権を獲得しました。それではここでこの試合のコートオフィシャルのご紹介です。大阪社会体育専門学校の皆さんです。どうぞ大きな拍手をお送りください。現在、ウォーミングアップ中の両チーム紹介していきたいと思います。まずはティームブラジルです。世界ランキングは1位、強豪国として知られています。南米大陸代表はブラジル。今大会は7大会連続7回目の出場になります。2016年の地元開催リオデジャネイロオリンピックで金メダル獲得。絶対ご紹介。バレーボールがオリンピックに採用されて以降、14大会すべてに出場しているのはブラジルだけなんですね。2017年、15年間指揮を執ったレゼンデ監督が入門しまして、レゼンデ監督が指揮した15年間、ブラジルはバレーボールの名を欲しいままにしていました。世界選手権は3連覇、2002年、2006年、そして2010年です。さらにはワールドカップを連覇、2003年、2007年。 テネ金、北京銀、ロンドン銀、リオ金、4大会で金を2回、銀を2回取っているということですね。ブラジルバレーの過去6大会中4度優勝で、その他の2回もですね、準優勝ですから、すべて準優勝以上の結果を残しているのがブラジルなんですね。はい、前人未到ブラジルの4連勝ったんですね。さて、対するイラン、アジア大陸代表チームですが、3大会連続3回目の出場です。過去数年間急成長している国の一つでして、2016年のリオデジャネイロオリンピックは初出場で5位に入りました。予選ラウンドを勝ち上がってということですね。イラン躍進のスタートは2011年、地元開催のアジア選手権です。イタリアを世界選手権で2度のメダルに導くなど、世界の名将として知られるジュリオ・ベラスコ監督を招聘、初優勝を飾りました。2012年ロンドンオリンピックはワンセットされ出場を逃しています。その後2013年アジア選手権の連覇、2014年ワールドリーグでは初めてファイナル4に進出して4冠、5大会連続で出場となった2014年世界選手権は6位、2017年イゴール・コラコビッチ監督を招聘しまして、コラコビッチ監督、セルビア代表の監督として2度オリンピックに出場している国際経験豊富な監督なんですけれども、今大会もそのイゴール・コラコビッチ監督が指揮をもちろんしています。東京五輪へ向けてチームが爆買いをかけています。ベテランのミックスして、いいプレーをね、見せて今、首位を走っているイランでございます。以上、両チームの発表でした。
The FIVB World Grand Champions Cup is in full swing as the planet's top volleyballing nations battle it out for glory. After a day's rest, the teams are raring to go. And up next, it's Iran taking on Brazil right here at the Osaka Municipal Central Gymnasium in Osaka. Hello and welcome, Clayton Lucas with you as we get ready for the first game of day 3 of competition of the FIVB World Grand Champions Cup here in Japan, and it is Brazil who will be taking on Iran. Iran, well, having a very good tournament. Brazil, not so, as it turns out. Brazil beat France by 3 sets to nothing, 27-25, 27-25, 25-22, and then they lost to Italy in 5 sets. This is currently how the table stands. 3 teams on 4 points. Iran are top, courtesy of the fact that they have won both of their matches, and even if Iran go on and win the rest of their matches 3-2 and only get 2 points, and then the United States now go on and win the rest of their matches 3-0 and get 3 points, and even though that the USA would have more points, they wouldn't win the tournament because it would be on wins, losses first. Which kind of makes you wonder why you have 2 for a win and 1 for a loss if you go to 5 sets. So that is how this round-robin tournament will be decided. It's everyone plays everybody, so 5 matches to be played, and for Iran it's been 2 5-set matches so far. They beat Italy 3-2. Some epic sets in that, 26-28, 31-29 before winning 15-11. And then against the USA, there was a 27-25 and a 15-12 in the decider. They've played a total of 4 hours and 26 minutes of volleyball in their 2 matches so far. Be thankful for the day off, which was a travel day yesterday when teams moved from the previous venue in Nagoya all the way to here in Osaka. Warm-up finished, the team is getting ready to come out onto court, and we'll have the national anthems. For Brazil now, it's a case of they need to win this game. If they can beat Iran, then it's very much game on, and an opportunity for them to win this Grand Champions Cup. If Iran win it, well, they'll feel that they're in pole position with Japan
At this time, please stand
to come.
for the national anthem of Brazil.
Time for the national anthem. Start with Brazil, finish with Iran.
And now, the national anthem of Iran.
With Brazil having lost 3-2 and Iran having won both their matches 3-2, Brazil will not be taking this game lightly, that's for sure, and for Iran they're no doubt going to be going with their strongest six. It'll be interesting to see from their point of view whether or not it's Gaimi through the outside who starts or whether it'll be Manabi, number 14.
The second referee from Serbia.
So the referees today, the first referee from the Dominican Republic is Denis Cespedes, and he'll be ably assisted by Serbia's Vladimir Simonovic, two very able and experienced referees in charge of this one, making sure there are no shenanigans. Lucarelli is definitely trying to get himself in the zone if he's not there already. Brazil are going to come out onto court first, led by the captain Bruno, who'll be setting. Followed by Wallace, who'll be going in the opposite slot. This is how they line up. So Lucas is going through the middle, along with Souza, number 13. And then it's Lucarelli through the outside, along with Maurizio. That is who Renan Del Zotto has gone with, two liberos to choose from, and it's normally that Thiago Brendel is the main libero. So no change at all for Iran. They're going with the team that has started every match so far. Number 2, Ibadipour, and is through the outside for Azi, middle blocking. Number 4, Maruf is setting. Number 5, Gianni through the outside. Number 6, Musabi, middle blocking. Number 10, Gafour in the opposite slot. And Gafour, number 10, has had a brilliant tournament so far. He is really going to be tough to deal with. And the biggest problem Brazil are going to have, Maruf, the setter for Iran.
That's Team Iran.
We've got Kolakovic, the Serbian coach in charge of Iran. He's masterminded 2 victories so far. He masterminded another one here against the Olympic champions.
Here we go, the start of our first match in Osaka, Iran and Brazil. さあ、アジア大陸代表、現在首位を走る世界ランキング8位のイラン対南米大陸代表、絶対王者、世界ランキング1位、ブラジルの対戦、これよりスタート。
Iran then in blue serving. It is Brazil in yellow receiving. This is the first game from match day number 3 of the FIVB Men's World Grand Champions Cup here in Japan. We're in Osaka, having moved from Nagoya, and the first point goes the way of Iran. Giannis Hoss getting aced. Work from Maurizio, getting that one cross court. Past Farhad Gayami. She'll now go back to serve. Free ball then for Brazil. And straight away. Bruno establishing Lucas as quickly as he can. Nice work as well, running that in between the outside attacker and the middle blocker into that gap, so both of them having to stretch inside. Maurizio. That one got through the gap, but it didn't land in court. They're going to challenge for a touch off the block. Coaches have a couple of challenges in each set. They can challenge ball in and out, ball hitting the antenna, net touch by the opponent, foot faults, centre line, 3-metre line, and baseline. And also a full touch challenge. So if the referee deems that the ball's gone into the net, hasn't touched the block, and calls for 4 touches when it's played again, you can challenge that. So first job for Mr. Andrei Zenovic, the challenge referee today from Russia, in conjunction with the challenge team, looking at the footage to see whether or not be Iran's point or whether it will be Brazil's. There's a shadow, and they're saying there's no touch, there's absolutely no deviation of the ball, is there? And the problem is Kolakovic is saying, come on, it touched. And for those of you that know, then you'll have some sympathy perhaps with Kolakovic, but the picture doesn't translate well to broadcast screens. The reason being that the challenge system cameras are in excess of a couple of hundred frames per second. Broadcast cameras work at 25 frames PAL and 59 frames here for NTSC. So there's a whole bunch of frames missing. And when you put it up on the big screen, those frames are filled in. There's a lot of noise, a lot of interference. It doesn't look great. But sat up in the challenge team, in the where all the monitors are, with the pictures they have, they could quite clearly see the ball wasn't touched. I guess maybe the next thing we'll get is a hotspot camera, perhaps, a bit like you see in certain sports, particularly in cricket, where you'll get that view. If that ball, if you use the hotspot camera, we'd have a black and white image and you'd see whether or not there was a hotspot as that ball went past the arm, suggesting a transfer of energy and a contact. Block out then for Iran. Gavor has been very, very good coming into this tournament, coming into this match, I should say, the opposite player. 36 points so far for him. 3 blocks, 33 spikes. Now Sousa's in on the action. So Bruno's just got everybody up and having a swing. Wallace from the serving line. A cheap point for Iran. Gayami. Well, that's a really good chase and pick up by the libero for Iran. Iran were around the perimeters of the court, ready for the ball off of the block, and now they get it off the block and away. Very nice transition volleyball from Iran. A little bit lucky, but did very well not for it. A carry not to have been called. It was an excellent pickup by Morandi that led to the point. Never going to beat Bruno in a joust. Very rarely beat a setter in a joust. Bruno flexing his pecs. Pushing that one back down on Iran's side. from Iran. Plenty of Iranian supporters in. Very nice serve from Iran, back in front. Who were a couple behind. Now they've got themselves the lead, courtesy of that very nice serve by Musavi. Oh dear, we head into the second, or the first technical timeout. It's a 2-point lead for Iran. It's all smiles for the team in blue.
Ataca ela!
Only 5 points having been scored from service. Iran with 3, Brazil with 2. Because of the virtue of the side out as well. They lead by 2. Stay in play, Brazil have to go again. Wallace flying from the back row. Wallace, a product of the junior program of volleyball at Santa Cruzeiro, played there his entire career until a couple of seasons ago, where he left. Brazil get themselves back level. Very nice commit block from Lucas. Wallace now playing his volleyball for Tabate. Good look from the net camera. That one coming straight back. So a block followed by an error, and it's Brazil who turned it around there, back in front now. Souza. Thundering that one off the block, but it's Iran who got it into transition. No one able to win the point just yet until Wallace went up and had a swing. Looks like Wallace has got an extra number on his shorts. Slight printing error perhaps. Bruno winning the joust. It's a good up from Lucarelli. And good work from him in play, putting it to position 1. Well watched by Maurizio. Oh, brilliant swing from Lucas as Bruno goes middle in transition. Lucas off just a one-step approach. Great pickup from Lucarelli. Souza with the serve. Brazil now leading by 3. So a good mismatch for Iran to work. Bruno, not the biggest blocker in world volleyball, but in more taller, able to get the wipe off. Maruf thought that it was going out, he's left it. He could have played it. Doesn't look like they're going to challenge it though. If this ball is shadowing the line, it's in. It's in. The reason I say that of a ball shadowing the line is in because it's now improved with the technology from the Hawkeye system. The ball compresses down on the floor to almost its circumference. Pretty much all of it, so chances are it's going to be in if it shadows the line. You don't see that compression, it's so quick. Very nice from Maruf. He's not your classic set, doesn't take that ball right above his head all the time. He takes this one from right in front of him and quite low. You can see that right by his nose and just boom, shooting it out. Lucas was out to lunch, wasn't he? No chance. Maruf, such a good setter, but not in the mould at which you would be training setters in terms of contact, ball contact, height and so on. He just does what needs to be done to get the ball where it needs to go. Iran get their side out. So far, so good for Brazil. They've got themselves a 4-point lead. They know what's going to happen when they switch off for a second. Iran will be right back at them. Iranian fans shouting and screaming as the Brazilian players go to serve. For once it is the fans and not the players who were doing that in the last few days, but they're a little bit too far away now. The subs area is way back out of the way to really affect anything on both sides. Lucarelli getting the ball down. Second technical timeout, Brazil then leading by 4 in this first set. Wallace. Bruno got himself, he was caught at the net. Bruno didn't really, he had that movement outside, and then the balls popped down in front of Wallace, who, in all fairness to him, probably could have done better than that. Not the best start position for him. Gami. So far, it's Brazil's opposite proving to be more effective than Iran's. Kapoor, number 10 for Iran's, been very quiet. Maybe in part though due to Brazil's serving and not allowing that opposite to be an option, or also in part because the ball's pretty good, and that means the middle's available. Maroof likes to go middle whenever he can. Stressing Souza, stressing Lucas. The more the middle is used, the more the middle gets stressed on the other side, the more the middle on the other side is going to hold and wait because they're getting a bit frustrated, want to make some blocks. A tame hit from Maurizio, that's dealt with by Iran. The more the blockers get stressed, the more the options then open up out on the wings. What Bruno's done to himself, got a bit of strapping. He's not tattooed, he's got some strapping on his arm. Wasn't noticeable in day 2 of competition. That's a nice dig from Souza. Lucarelli not moved from the spike that's gone 9 meters to then the contact as well. Had to be played, got touched, and Lucarelli on his heels. It's a desperate attempt from Marandi, but he was never going to get there in time. Up by Lucarelli. For that to be off the block, not given. Don't think there's going to be a challenge either. Well, there is, in fact. Wallace convinced it's off the arms and away. Not that convinced at first glance did Wallace, but we're going to find out.
The challenge is here.
If it is, then it would change the score quite considerably, wouldn't it? From 17-19, just 2 behind Iran, to 16-20. Oh, it's not touched anybody. Oh, it has. I'm seeing a little finger move. Ah, do you know what? The little finger's moved. The little finger's moved because Wallace touched his finger with his finger. There you go. Wallace's finger touches the blocker's finger. The ball doesn't. That's why it's no touch. (17-19) it is, Iran with the serve. Brazil's passing unit way back. That's good work, Lucas. Staying behind Bruno the whole time. So even though Bruno's setting this off the net where he comes to, Lucas hits an A quick by taking off on the 3-meter line. That's quality. And as a middle blocker at this level, you need to be able to do that. If he'd have got in front of Bruno with that, he'd have had no angles to swing on the ball. It would have been really tricky. A free point for Iran. Harvey, number 14, has come in to replace Garmi, number 5, and then coming on to serve Gara, number 17. It's an ace serve for Iran. Massive stroke of luck. It's interesting, Brazil called the timeout, but that ball could have hit the net and easily gone down Iran's side. It's not as if Brazil did anything wrong. Completely something you can't legislate for. Calling the timeout. There might be a couple of schools of thought. Some coaches may have let that ride. Others, like Renan, deciding to call the timeout. Bruno at the absolute top of his reach, jumping up to put that into Lucas's spike zone. Oh, he's got that right through the arms as well of Saeed, as Julius Brink has said. That one through the letterbox. Those of you that have been following this tournament throughout the men's event will have no doubt heard Julius as an expert analyst. Julius Brink, former World Championship gold medal winner on the beach in 2009, Olympic champion in London 2012. Great swing from Lucas again. Brazil now just 3 points away from taking this first set, and it's Iran who call the timeout. It's not bad, is it, to have middle blockers who can run a pipe? We are getting to total volleyball from Brazil. Wallace touched the net.
2022, you're in set number 1.
Salafzoon is in. He's a straight replacement blocking-wise, but he's a lot taller than Maroof, and you can quite clearly see Iran stacking over near the referee exactly where the serve's coming from. But it's not a screen, apparently. Fine margins between a screen and not screening, and stopping the opposition from being able to see the server. Lovely blocking. Saeed just poking his hands across the net to stop that one coming over on the little roll shot. Iran now just one back. Again, Gafour just organising his 3 players in front of him, but not before Brazil call the timeout. Iran with the serve. They're one back, going after Lucarelli, but Maurizio comes in and takes it back row. Pass it to allow Lucarelli to get out wide, but it doesn't go to him, and it's off his block and away. Iran are level. 22 all, no timeouts left. Sousa's block's high, but it's not across the net. If he'd have got straight across the net, he would have gone straight down. And Maurizio Sousa goes off. Santos has come in to replace him. Renan not happy with the way Sousa playing, obviously. But also it does give a bit of a breather just to try and stop what Iran are doing. And that one's come off the block. Iran, we're about to do a lap of honour. He's going to challenge this one as well, as to whether or not it's come off the arms. So the question is, did it come off of Manavi, number 14? He's saying no. Saeed wants a challenge. Now it comes 8 seconds after the whistle goes is what you're allowed to make a challenge. They're looking for block touch. In fact, the challenges we've had so far have all been about the block touch, haven't they? And they've been so tight, so difficult that you couldn't tell from the view in real time. And that one is off of the block and away. That's an odd one, isn't it? The player must have felt that. But then maybe he didn't, obviously, otherwise he wouldn't have called for a challenge. Or maybe thinking it was such a small touch it might not even get noticed. Nothing escapes Hawkeye. Brazil have that side out then. They've edged in front here. Wallace with the serve. Just have to turn the scoreboard back around. That's the part of the problem, because if the point goes to the score table can be a little bit too efficient at times, which isn't a problem, but it has caused a little bit of an issue because they then have to the scoreboard, once the point's been given, they change it straight away. So it's 23-22 to Iran, and then there's a challenge come, and then they have to reverse it and turn it back round again. It's almost one of those things where there's nothing wrong waiting the 8 seconds before you actually go with the moving the points over, especially when you can see players making the challenge signal until the referee actually then blows for the next serve. But it's a no-win situation for the scorers table, because then the other team are going, you haven't given us a point, you haven't given us a point. It's a bit like the New York second. When the lights go green in New York, if you haven't moved, the horns are going. You say, if you haven't added that score on, the other team will be on your case. So still trying to amend that situation down at the scorers table. We have the right score, 23-22. Still want to make a couple of changes. In the first instance, they want to make one change. Renan to come in at 2 meters 17. He's absolutely huge, isn't he? Makes Bruno look like a small boy as he goes past him. Renan comes in. And Bruno comes out. No recognised setter on court. They'll try and pop it up to the mid-court just behind the baseline if they can, the centre line, and probably Brendel will pop it up in the air. But they're hoping they can make something happen with the block here. Isaac in the middle. And it's a brilliant serve. Brazil now have set point. Renan not having to do anything at the moment except celebrate. Menavi beaten. Wallace once again. Oh wow, free swing. There was a free swing through the middle. Can you believe that was missed on the pipe attack? An unforced error from Iran, and it's the set. Goes to Brazil, 25-22. They lead by 1 set to nothing. Well, you wouldn't have thought that. Iran have played exceptionally well. And to have a free net and then miss it Goodness me, Iran will rue that. Stats from the first set. 4 aces from Iran, did serve extremely well. Brazil with 17 points from attacks and gave 7 errors away. It could have gone either way. It was the key errors. It's not about the number of errors you make, it's about when you make them. Iran making one on set point, very costly. So here's a serving placement from Brazil. They've gone after the front court swing hitter as much as possible, trying to overload that area. And that means as well that for all of those balls you can see that are going towards 3 and then going back out to 4, they'll all be negative sets where the setter is having to take that energy into his hands and then give his own energy back to the ball to get it out wide. Makes it a little bit slower, gives the opposition time, but it also means that speeding it up behind, so it's a little bit quicker going behind the setter's head. But as Maruf likes to go middle, maybe Brazil thinking that maybe gives him just a little bit longer to see what's going on. Although with Maruf setting, you don't really get that much longer, or you don't get any longer. Changes for Brazil. They're going to bring Souza back onto court. Then he'll start the second set. Maurizio gets the serve away. And Pirelli, who goes up and then presses, gets beat. His hands are up pretty much straight in the air when he gets hit. The press is a little too late. It really wasn't a press, he just made put his hands forward. Makes up for that earlier discretion or digression, indiscretion. I think got there in the end with the ball put down the line. We talk about blocking and talk about it a lot, but what you get above the net needs to get across the net to get the angle, to get as close to the ball as possible. And that's what you're looking to do. Get your hands as close to that ball as possible to shut down angles, give the attackers nowhere to go. World-class Wallace goes cross-court. nice touch from Brazil. They get the ball. In fact, Sousa making a touch with his feet still on the floor, having gone to the middle and just kept his hands up there. Another good point for Brazil. So far, they're not giving Iran anything to feed off, really, just the odd point here and there. But Iran do make a habit of celebrating very loudly when the opposition make a mistake. Trying to get some psychology going, trying to be getting under the skin of the other team, the sort of stuff you see, really in amateur volleyball. But it's funny, isn't it? Even at this level, some teams still think that that's a way forward and a way to play. And then when it does work, they believe that's the we're going to carry on doing it. Iran's volleyball is world class. And when they are on form and when they are working as a team, they're very difficult to beat. And really, it's a team that have come to the fore since Maruf has been playing, with some good athletes around him. And certainly put Iran on the map. That's a wonderful swing. That's what Gafour can do, that's why he's in the team. But what a set that is from Maruf to open up that line shot. Nice touch. Brilliant work getting that ball up, putting it away in transition. Iran leading by 2. Very nice hit as well. Badipur doing a very good impression of Maurizio, up waiting and then swinging fast with the arm. And Brazil call the timeout. Maruf to serve. Great dig. Nobody covering deep though. And all that effort is for nothing in the end. That was an amazing dig by Morandi. Bruno. Brendel was waiting, but he couldn't make the dig. There's a little word with himself. We go to the technical timeout, Iran leading by 3.
ですが、2戦2勝、これまでですね、イタリアと対戦3-2、そして、USA と対戦3-2、合計4ポイント、2勝、首位を走ります、イラン、サーバーはイラン・エバントゥ。
Could be a Badipur with the serve. Coming to this game, 38 points, actually leading the team in points after 2 matches. So Lucas gets that one off the block. Best of serves from Maurizio. A bit of confusion for Brazil. Iran could profit. Brilliant, absolutely world class again. I had a feeling maybe that was coming because Bruno just loves to do that. But what a cut to the line that is as well. Lucas over Gami didn't jump, had no chance. They have all been cramped up over by the ref. But Lucas finds a way through. And now he has the serve. And it's a great serve as well. Brazil get themselves another point. Flooding the middle, denying Iran the opportunity to get that side out. Brazil just one behind now. Ruth put that towards the net in a bid maybe for that to go off the block and out, but it's Gafour with a big gaff of the swing. It's 9-all. Way into the crowd, off the head of Wallace. Right into his face, actually. Garvey did apologise. Every player in the team can hit the pipe. Maurizio, Wallace, Lucarelli, Lucas. The person we haven't seen hit a pipe is Souza. Massive serve from Wallace. I think he's fired up after that ball went into his face. Shout for a double touch off of that set from Maruf. It wasn't given. setter's prerogative, as Maroof was, and put the ball out wide. Most of those shouts were coming from the bench, nothing from the players. Army with the serve. Another big hit. Unfortunately though, for Wallace, he doesn't find his mark.
World time 12-12.
Maurizio was kind as that one popped up. Could have done some serious damage. Just put the ball into space. Looked like a bit of a carry from Maroof to go to the middle. Maurizio was just saying that with his expression or his movements to the referee, but the referee having none of it. Brendel got in the way of that one again, but he's having no luck making a dig. Mind you, it came at him so fast. Very little chance to do anything other than not get hurt. A little bit of luck. Maurizio kicking that one back into play. Fell very kindly for Brazil. Wallace through the letterbox, posting a point for Brazil. It's definitely not Gaffour's day at the moment. Number 10 opposite hitter for Iran's had two fantastic matches so far coming into this one. We just wonder whether or not 10 sets of volleyball in 2 days has taken it out of him. He's struggling. Souza. Into the second technical timeout. Brazil leading by 3 and by 1 set to nothing. block wasn't set properly for Iran, still moving laterally, not closing down at the net, so not getting the hands across the net. So the ball down in front of them, and then they were moving away from it as well, so couldn't kick it back into play either. I'm not happy, think that that ball was firmly off of all of the hand and not any part of the floor. Right under the referee's nose, had the perfect view. Iran called timeout, trailing by 4.
Just thinking about our points, not about result now. Result 18-14, if you play, normally you can win anyone.
Have decided it's going to be a change coming. Manavi's gone in. Manavi's gone out. Did well to make the net at all, almost missed the net. Complete miss hit from Vadipur. That can sometimes happen when you're chasing points, trying to make something happen. Just get a little too tense, and then you make more errors. Covering by Lucas. Bruno's onto it. Iran have the side out. Despite that Brazil had a couple of swings but couldn't do anything meaningful with the ball. Gara coming in to serve. Baezi going to have a sit down. Good up from Gafour, free ball for Brazil. 4 attacking options available. 3 in the front, and it's Lucas, the quickest point of attack, putting the ball down. You see Lucas going, Maurizio right behind. The amount of pressure there is on the blockers. If it had gone to Maurizio, he'd have had a free swing. No serving run this time for Lucas. Salapsoon comes back in. He did this in the first set, doing it again here in the second as a blocking substitution, but also a setter as well. Goes back off, Maroof is in, Wallace will serve Brazil. Better opportunity now, this for Brazil. Lucarelli getting past the block, putting the ball down. Brazil well up in this second set and kept Iran at bay. Haven't helped themselves with the number of errors they've made. See, Wallace's printing's gone awry on his shorts, 8 on the front and on the back. This will like it from Gaffai, just hasn't done enough of those. Probably saying he hasn't received enough of the ball. And when he has, he's still made more errors than he would normally make in a match. A cheap point for Brazil to bring up the set point chance. It's a double sub for Brazil. Renan is in the front row, Rafael in the back row to set. It'll be Lucarelli with the serve. The ball has been given the way of Brazil for being played outside the antenna. Just going to call the line judge over because Iran were pointing. I'm not sure that they realised it was played outside the antenna by Iran. So it is an error from Iran. They might be challenging this though, so it won't be just going to the end of the set just yet. We're all going to get a very good view of exactly what happened. But both line judges were pointing to the antenna and waving their flags very quickly on the side of Brazil. So we're going to see whether or not the block has put the ball onto the antenna. The block has touched the antenna. The ball has gone outside the antenna. Oh, look at that, Renan touching the antenna with his massive paws. So it isn't the end of the set. Iran with a successful challenge. It is going to be 19-24. One side out required for Brazil, which they duly get through the middle, through Souza. Brazil take it 25-19. They lead Iran by 2 sets to nothing. statistics for that last set. And Iran only making 6 errors. I think Gafour made most of those. Brazil 4 blocks. That was very important, plus their ace. So this is Brazil's set of contact points. That green area, the ideal place for the ball to be set from. Just 6 balls that weren't, well, no, actually, let's say just the 4 that weren't really ideally where they should have been. Fascinating, the information that we can get. Probably also, we've got that contact points. You could also see that from the heights as well at which the ball would have been set. Be available. Has also given us, during the course of this tournament, a more realistic idea of how high the boys are hitting the ball. You look at some of the spike heights in stats. It says here that, for example, that Musavi of Iran touches 3 meters 62. Well, he does when he's jumping up and trying to get his hand onto a tape or a plaque on the wall or whatever it might be, but it's very different to when you go up, jump and have a spike and swing on the ball. We're seeing heights, spike heights in the region of 3 meters 30. Between 320, 330, the average kind of, there's the zones at which the ball is being hit in terms of height. Away we go then with this third set. It's Iran with a serve, but they're trailing Brazil by 2 sets to nothing at the moment. Nice stick by Maroof. Middle still not quite functioning, but it is for Iran. Maroof saying, well, if you're going to keep going there, Bruno, so will I. First point on the board for Iran in this set. And the second. You see at the top of the net. Looking at Iran's 2 5-set matches. Can't do anything about that, could have gone anywhere. That was a shame when it rolled all the way up the arm. Not the skills that Nicaragua wanted to show. Iran's game against Italy was won the first, lost the second, won the third, lost the fourth, won the fifth. Against the USA, they lost the first 2 sets, 25-20, 25-17, and then won the next 2, 27-25, 25-21. So Brazil know that by no means are they home and host here. By no means are Iran going to let this set go cheaply. And that is evident by the fact they are now leading 3-0. Manavi has come in for this set to replace Gami, something he did in the game against the USA, which begs the question, why did he not just start the game? 3-0 down, Brazil have called a timeout. Batted ball once again. Commit block from Iran, and they now lead 4-0. USA team looking on. Dustin Watson with his... he's seen himself on the big screen. With his word strong has been etched into the side of his head. What a start this is from Iran. It's getting better and better and better. 5-0, 2 massive blocks. Still don't really know what to do here at the minute. Fires an enormous block. Got some long arms on him. Maurizio settles things down, gets it off of Manavi in a way. He went outside the antenna, comes back outside the antenna, play continues. Maurizio gets it on Iran's side. Brendel with another good dig. Well, Lucarelli falling backwards, and he didn't get a roll on the ball. He didn't get his hand through it. That's all perfectly normal and allowable. Very clever from Maurizio. Wasn't there to be hit, could see the block had come in, had space behind it, used it well. Brazil come back with a block of their own. Brazil have got themselves going. They'll need some points from the serving line. Good chase from Brendel. Very good play. Bruno taken all the way over to the baseline nearly, but still able to get that ball out wide for Lucarelli to work his magic. Straight over the top of Bruno. Iran leading by 3 at the technical timeout, the first lead they've had at a technical timeout in the match. It's all Brazil at the moment, leading the way as the best scorers. It's just being told, look, you're on the big screen. That's the Iranian supporters telling the Brazilian supporter. Great harmony here in Osaka between the fans. And a great match we're witnessing on court between the teams. That is a wonderful swing from Lucarelli. Such a shame, a brilliant dig from Lucarelli, only for Brazil to touch the net. Lucas back to the action. Sousa goes back to serve. Ball just a little tight to the net, but Lucarelli did very well to make something happen. Chase is on for Brendel. Well, Lucas had got blocked earlier, and he's making sure he gets that point back for his team. Hands up, gets in, gets across. Interesting that he goes down, drops his hands down. He could have just stood there with his hands up in the air and gone off his toes. He'd have got exactly the same amount of height. Would have been in the zone quicker as well. Good up from Lucarelli. Well, Bruno gets away with that. He went to the middle, but Iran's block were already there and waiting. It was all crowded on that left-hand side of court. Getting it back, getting it out to Wallace. The ball goes down. Brazil level, and Iran called the timeout. Was quite deep, the libero. Wouldn't have got that ball if it was tipped over the top. As it was, it's off the block and away to the side. He had absolutely no chance of getting that. It's Badipur back to serve. This is the rotation that Iran got 5 points on at the start of this set. They will be keen to get off this one as quickly as possible.
French rise on the board, 11-11.
As quick as it gets, really, not even having to work for it. Maurizio to the serving line. Good up from Bruno. Wallace, as calm as you like, gets the block out. And Del Zotto, the coach for Brazil, enjoying that point as he celebrated. Maurizio again. A late press from Lucarelli. An evenly poised third set. Iran getting off to a great start, getting 4 points from service, but Brazil have clawed it back with 4 points of their own over the course of this race to 16, the second technical timeout. That's a complete mishit, unfortunately, for Iran. Manavi who had this swing. So it'll be Lucas now to serve. No matter how high that ball was, came down exactly where it needed to from the roof. Really made it look so easy. Just putting it out to 4, one-on-one. Manavi putting it away. Get 4 there with the serve. Brazil siding out is very good at the moment. It's a clever swing from Maurizio as well. Saw the block diving into that side, trying to take away 5, so he goes to 1. It's all going well for Brazil at the moment. No errors, getting good swings, getting block out or putting it on the floor. Excellent. Well, you'd thought Iran would have been aware of that. Brazil have already done that once during this competition. It was Wallace to Lucarelli. This time it's Bruno to Maurizio. Second ball gets put away, and Brazil lead by 2 at the technical timeout after trailing by 5 at the start of this set. Well worth another watch. Nobody there at all for Iran had no clue what was going on. No chance of stopping it. Ace serve from Lucarelli. All that looked to be miles in. That looked to be a good foot inside the baseline. But then again, that's my eyes, my view. Brazil are challenging. Well, not a foot in then, but certainly in nonetheless. Great serve from Lucarelli, he'll go again. 17-14 up, 2 sets to nothing up. Maruf has touched the net. So he went to play that ball over, just lost his balance, and at 18-14 up, it's Iran. We were trailing by 4, now call the timeout. No more timeouts left for Iran. Lucarelli. Wonderful block from Maurizio, and he will enjoy that. There's nothing better as a player when you go and get a massive one-on-one. Even if it goes to the baseline or goes down on the towards the centre line. Still a great feeling. Lucarelli will serve again. And the 5-point deficit Brazil had is now a 5-point lead for them. Really have turned this set around. And now Sousa gets straight in, commits on Said. 2 big blocks in a row for Brazil. Now they lead by 6. Continuing to turn the screw here, continuing to apply the pressure. Bruno getting a good touch. Another point for Brazil. That ball that Bruno played was off the heel of his hand. No carry in that situation. Trying to slow things down a tad. Salafsouk coming in, Maruf's gone off. Ready to serve again. Oh, huge block this time from Sousa, and Iran cannot find a way through. It is all Brazil. That's an excellent block. That's up and across the net. Could still go a little bit earlier. More changes. Off goes Ibadipor. Oh, fantastic. There was a moment then when the players looked at each other, but still time for Lucarelli to make a dig, and another dig from Lucarelli. Fantastic point for Brazil. Lucarelli, amazing. It's just that moment when that was what happened. Oh, that's just fantastic. The first thought was it was off of Brendel, and a late reaction, but it wasn't. It hit Lucarelli first, then Brendel, and then Lucarelli with the presence of mind to go, not only get it, but bring it back into play as well. Fantastic. Too low. And it's now going to be match point for Brazil. What a serving run this is from Lucarelli. He's not tried to win points. He's got himself on a rhythm going. He's then just put the ball in play. And it's now a 10-point lead for Brazil. Quite extraordinary when you think they were 5 points down at the start of this set. You can forgive him going for that one. The Lucarelli show comes to an end for the moment. It's all over. Brazil take the set 25-15 and they have beaten Iran by 3 sets to love. Brazil will top the table and it's very much anyone's tournament at the moment here in Osaka. Brazil getting the job done in straight sets. They'll be delighted with the way they've got that one done. Brazil acknowledging the fans who have been treated to some excellent volleyball. What's it like to be for Iran? Gafour, number 10 in your picture, not really on form. Despite the best efforts of the team, Brazil keeping Iran at bay and winning in straight sets. この後は午後3時30分から第2試合が行われます。フランス対アメリカのカード。お待ちください。All smiles as you would expect for Brazil. Anything but at the moment though for Iran, who have to warm down and think about their missed opportunities, how they went from 5-0 up to losing a set 25-15. Some introspection going on for Gafour, that's for sure. And Gaimi. Down on centre court, here's Bruno.
Bruno, you look pretty strong out there against a strong Iran team, I think.
Yeah. Tonight I think we made our best match in the competition. We played really hard in all the system, in defensive system, in offensive system. We served very well against a great team with a great setter, so we are happy, but now we just have to focus tomorrow match against USA. That's another big team, so but we are happy because I think we played our best match in this competition.
And it looked like you were having fun out there.
Yeah, that's one thing that sometimes we lose playing, so we have to take this example for today, because we played with this Brazilian happiness, you know, with this thing, and so we just have to sometimes to enjoy a little bit more inside the court, and that's what we did today, and we hope to do tomorrow too.
And towards the end, you made some pretty spectacular points.
Yeah. I think in that moment we were a little bit on fire. Lucarelli made 2 great defense, and the things started to begin like a spectacle. But the important thing that we improved from the last match, and we won. That's the biggest thing for our team today.
And a quick message for your Brazilian fans.
Gente, obrigado pela torcida aí, o pessoal zumbi aí que está acompanhando a gente na madrugada. Conto com a torcida de vocês aí amanhã, eu e toda a seleção brasileira, para mais uma grande partida contra os Estados Unidos e em busca dessa medalha de ouro. Valeu!
Thank you.
Indeed, they did play with fun, didn't they? Starting to enjoy it, a bit of flair and creativity, and a few spectacular points thrown in as well. And credit to Iran. They played some good volleyball and actually didn't make that many errors, but that third set from Brazil is about as good as it gets for them, as Bruno rightly pointed out. Their best performance so far in this World Grand Champions Cup. A fantastic game of volleyball to get match day 3 underway here in Osaka. Here are the tail of that. Here is the tail of that last set. 6 errors apiece. Indeed, not many errors from Iran, counted by the same errors that Brazil made. But Brazil with 5 blocks and out attacking Iran 13 points to 6. Not much Iran could do in the end. Now looking at the game overall, 11 blocks, Iran with more aces, but Brazil with plenty more attacks than Iran could muster for points. And that took its toll, with Brazil taking the match by 3 sets to nothing. Well, that wraps up our first game. We hope you've enjoyed the volleyball here. We do have 2 more matches to come. We hope you can join us for those.